Hello everybody, we are back here on the Hunter Call of the Wild, and today we got our very first look at the brand new New England Mountains Reserve. There was actually a lot of stuff that they talked about in this, and we will be going over any new information in this video. But before we actually get to the video, I did want to mention I'm going to have one of the biggest videos I've ever posted come out in a couple hours around 12 Pacific Standard Time, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, that is. And it is going to be probably one of the very first videos on YouTube of two great ones on the map at once. And, well, to see how it all unfolded, you guys will have to wait until then. But I highly suggest you guys watch it. It's going to be one of the craziest videos I've ever had the pleasure of making. And I really hope that you guys enjoy it. But anyway, let's get into all of the new updates and news that we have for the brand new New England Mountains Reserve and some of the stuff that's going to be changing with it. So the first thing that we're going to look at is the brand new weapon skin system and the fact that you can interchange every single region of a rifle or handgun or bow with all of the different skins in the game to get as many combinations as you could possibly think of. This is actually going to be a pretty cool system. I'm glad that they did it this way, where there's different regions to put the different skins on. That way there's just so much more customizability with it. I think that is going to be really amazing. And I can't wait to see if they release any more skins down the line. I got a feeling that we're going to be getting more of these in the future, just based off of what Jaxie was talking about during the stream, and saying that it opens the door to new types of possible events and things with skins and things like that. So I think that's a really cool thing to look forward to in the future. But as of now, the skin system looks like it's really good, and it's a great start. It's going to give us so much more customizability, and I'm incredibly excited to finally be able to spend some of my money on stuff other than time resets and tents and tripods and ammo. It's going to be cool to be able to use our in-game currency to customize our weapons as well. And next, I just wanted to real quickly mention something that I feel like a lot of people do not understand with this update, and that's the fact that, well, the map is a little bit less exciting than normal, and I'll admit, it's not my favorite part of the update. The map is kind of just there. I like the other additions a lot better, but I did just want to give a quick reminder that the reason that this map is a little bit lackluster is because they've put so much other stuff into this update. You have to kind of decide what type of manpower is going to go to each aspect of an update, and well, in this case, it seems like they put less time on the map. That way they could backfill animals to other reserves, they could add the weapon skin customization, the behavior changes to the moose, the remodel to a few of the different species like whitetail, fox, and moose, along with all of the other stuff that's been added with this update. Unfortunately, they don't have infinite amounts of time or infinite amounts of manpower to actually still create a fully fledged out map with a bunch of new species like Africa 2.0 or Australia or something like that. This is something that they talked about in the stream. It's unfortunately just was not possible to get a full release map, as well as all of these other changes with the time that they have, as well as the resources that they have. So they had to focus more on the free parts of this update, which, if you ask me, I will take more work on the free content over more work on the paid content any day, and I think most of you are in the same boat. Free is always better, so the fact that we're getting a bunch of free systems like the weapon skins, the overhauls to a lot of the older species like the moose, and the backfilling of animals to existing reserves is pretty great. And honestly, I'm okay with a lackluster map if we're going to get so much free content. But obviously, you guys are free to disagree. That's just my opinion. And personally, I'm really excited about this update. There's also a brand new harvest screen. If you guys saw the live stream, I bet you guys were just as excited as I was to see that we can now inspect the animal in the harvest screen. We can move it around. You can zoom in and out so you actually get a much better look at the trophy. And this is going to come in handy for stuff like rares, super rares, diamonds, great ones especially, so that you can get some better screenshots and looks at it. We have been wanting something like this for a while. It's nice to see that they're finally adding some of these smaller features that really are more significant than you would think. The next thing is we did get to see the aggressive moose, and they actually look pretty realistic, which is great to see. I was curious how it was going to work, was really worried that they would be, I don't know, just unrealistically aggressive or look weird when they're attacking, but they actually did a pretty good job on making them look like what an aggressive moose would look like. So that's really nice. From what I've heard, that looks really good. I've never actually seen an aggressive moose in real life, as they are not here in Oregon, and, well, haven't really looked up any videos of it either, but from what I could tell, and based on what everybody else was saying in the chat, it looks like this is actually a pretty realistic stance for a moose to take when going aggressive. So it's nice to see that they actually have some level of realism with these attacking moose. Now, there's not a lot more to talk about, but there is a couple things I will quickly mention, and one of them is the fact that there was a couple changes to species being backfilled. Now, you guys may remember in the last video that I did covering this type of stuff, I mentioned the greater kudu coming to Africa, but unfortunately, that will not be happening. Jaxie was reading off of an older list when he said greater kudu, and apparently it was something that was being considered at one point, but they had to scrap it due to time constraints. So unfortunately, they weren't able to get a greater kudu onto Virhonga, but instead we will be getting Eurasian widgeons, which do migrate there. So it isn't unrealistic, like I've seen some people say. They do migrate into that area, so you would be seeing Eurasian widgeons. I know it's not the greater kudu. I know it's not what we were hoping for, but it is what it is. There's not really too much that we can do about it. If they didn't have enough time to finish it, then it is what it is. And the other thing, and probably the one that I'm most disappointed about, is the fact that black-tailed deer will not be coming to Silver Ridge Peaks. Now, I know there's the whole realism argument of them not being in Silver Ridge Peaks, and yes, they're definitely not in that area. As somebody who lives in Oregon and sees black-tailed deer every day and knows that they're pretty much just a coastal range deer, I get that they're not in Colorado, but it still would have been incredible just to have them on another map. And with Call of the Wild not really being a super realistic game, it's very heavily focused on more arcade gameplay styles, especially in comparison to other hunting games. I don't think it would have been that big of a deal, especially since Parque Fernando is basically a game reserve, with most of those species that are on Parque not actually being native to that area, and you just really don't see them there in real life. So I don't think it would have been a big deal to see Blacktail on SRP, but I get it. People want it to look the same as in real life. They want it to be true to life, but I still think it would have been cool. However, it is what it is. Hopefully we'll get Blacktail on another map in the future, and hopefully they will find something else to put on SRP for this update. But that's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little update on all of the stuff that has been talked about during the most recent EW livestream and all the stuff that's been shown off. Again, be sure to check out the video I'm going to have coming out later today at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, as it will be the most insane video I've ever had the pleasure of being able to make. Two great ones in one video on the map at the same time. You guys will see how I did it later today. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace!